Welcome to The Youth Will Always Win, the podcast where we help students win in the areas that matter the most. This is a space built to inspire, challenge, and equip the next generation to live out their faith with confidence. Whether you're on the way to school, at practice, doing homework, or just navigating everyday life, we're talking about what it actually looks like to follow Jesus in today's world. Through every challenge, every doubt, and every victory, remember the youth will always win.
Hey everyone, welcome back to The Youth Will Always Win. I'm Connor Pearson, and I'm so excited because today's episode is titled Winning When It Doesn't Go Your Way. And so to have this conversation today, we have a very amazing guest. He is runner-up of Season 2 of Beast Games. It is Cory Sims. Cory, how is it going? Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much, Connor. This truly is a blessing and honor just to be on your show right now. I'm so happy. This is exciting. Thank you so much.
Oh, this is far more exciting for me. I'm so excited as a fan of the show and watching things and just seeing your story. And I actually didn't finish this season until I think maybe it was like 3 weeks after it came out. And so when I saw that you made it, well, I won't say what place you got because we'll talk about that in a second. But when I just got to watch you, man, I was so inspired. It was great. And so kind of just jumping into things right now, in case someone doesn't know, I would love for you just to give us a little rundown on what Beast Games, the show is, and how does it work?
Absolutely. That's a great question. So Beast Games is this amazing competition show. It's kind of like a social experiment, so to speak. They basically take a whole bunch of different people. And in this season's case, it was 200 contestants all competing against each other. One person would be the ultimate winner, win $5 million. And it kind of gives you an inside look at what people really do when money is on the line. You know, people can either be the hero and do the right thing, or, you know, they're going to be the villain and do the wrong thing. So it all matters, kind of shows people's true character come out as the game unfolds and as things become real intense. A lot of pressure, obviously. And so it's a great show. I highly recommend watching it. That's pretty much how I describe it.
Yeah, no, I love it. And I love what you're saying about kind of seeing when money's on the line, like you could be the hero or the villain. The unique thing about the show is that there isn't a bad part of being the villain, you know? Like it's not like it's going to get you kicked off. Like you're kind of encouraged to lean whichever way you want to lean. So at what point in the show in this season were you kind of thinking like, yo, I might actually win this thing? This is kind of happening. I could maybe do this. Where did you feel that in the show?
So when it all started, obviously, it was very intense right from the beginning. I kind of just put it in my mind that, you know, I got to try to go the whole distance. I got to try to win this whole thing. So I just kept believing it and believing it and believing it. Put my faith out there. Obviously, you know, I kept praying every single moment I got a chance to. Mm-hmm. And yeah, when I finally got down to the top 10, probably, it was just one of those things where it's like, wow, I have a 1 in 10 chance right now of actually walking away from this with $5 million. So it was crazy.
Yeah, no kidding. It's like a lot of game shows are for like 20,000, like 5 million, like there's some added pressure to that. So if you didn't watch the season, spoiler alert, if you don't want it spoiled for you, don't listen right now. But Cory came in second place. It was a quite intense competition at the end. And so maybe this answers this next question. Maybe it is this competition or maybe it's something else. But what was the most intense moment you experienced during this show?
Oof, there was quite a few intense moments. I would probably say the moment that shocked me the most was probably the money split. Mm-hmm. We were basically, to give a background of what happened, the challenge, we had to be buried alive. There was 10 contestants.
Alone, that's just insane. It's like that's just like the little starter. Yeah, we had to be buried alive, and then this, like, that's a big deal being buried alive. But anyway.
Yeah, that was definitely my first time being buried alive, so that kind of took me back at first. It was kind of one of those things where you're like, wait a minute, I'm about to be buried alive. It's kind of a crazy thing right now. But so 9 of us were buried. We chose a team captain, which was Nick. We chose our team captain based on we believed his word. We believed in his integrity. He kept telling us even before this whole challenge even happened, if they do something similar to season 1, where they do $1 million money split, he was going to take $100,000. Everybody else is going to take $100,000. Everybody was going to be happy. So we chose Nick based on that premise. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, when money's in people's face or they're sitting on top of money, their character gets tested.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, we got to see how that played out. Nick took $250,000 right in the beginning. And then by the time I got up there, it was somebody else took a lot more money than they were supposed to as well. So it was one of those things where took me by surprise, so to speak, because I really trusted all the people that were inside the game. And even more of a surprise to me was my number one alliance from day one was Brett.
Yeah.
And he kept saying the same thing. He was only going to take $100,000. He wasn't going to take more than his fair share. He got to the money pile. Obviously, money gets in front of people's face. That temptation sets in, the good versus the evil. And unfortunately, he took $250,000 also. So obviously, I voiced my opinion on that. I said how upset I was.
I don't blame you. Are you kidding? Yeah. So how long did that competition take place? Thinking about you guys being buried alive, the show really portrayed it that, man, these were obviously some big decisions and it took some time to make them. So how long did you end up being buried alive?
So I was probably buried, I'm thinking probably 6 to 7 hours, to the point where I lost track of time. I actually ended up falling asleep in the coffin because we were in there so long.
Oh, I
figured I figured it was going to be cut and dry. 30 minutes later, I'd be unburied. Hey, go take your 100,000 and walk away. But it was one of those things where we were in there until when I got unburied, the sun was already coming up. I saw sun just start bleeding through the coffin as I'm getting unburied. So it's kind of like one of those things wait a minute, how long have I been in this thing for?
That is wild. Well, kind of before we dive into just a little bit of your kind of thoughts with getting second place and that kind of stuff, I would be really curious to know, this show is obviously a very high pressure environment. There's cameras constantly competing, and it's not like maybe some other game shows when it's the time to compete and when not. It's kind of a social game with big challenges that might go on for that many hours in the middle of the night. Who knows? But kind of with the pressure and everything going on, what did it look like for you to stay connected with God through all of that?
Absolutely. So my most important thing in my entire life is God. God is my number one. I have no negotiables when it comes to God. I will never negotiate anything. He's my number one, no matter what. So for me, I've always been a person that prays. I pray in the morning, I pray at night, I pray throughout the day. And even during the challenges, obviously during the challenge, we can't step away, go to our private space, pray or anything like that. So I would just, drop down to one knee right there before the challenge started.
Oh, wow.
Pray for strength, pray for wisdom, pray for guidance. At the end of the challenge, I would do the same thing, even if it was one of those challenges where, I might not have succeeded as I had planned, but it was still one of those things where I thanked him for his grace, for his mercy, for helping me all the way through the entire process. So God has always been central to my life. And a backstory to one of the cool things that happened in B City was one of the days we were sequestered into our pod. We all had to be in there, the weather, horrible storm was coming in. Mm-hmm. And I just started reading my Bible, just sitting in my bed and stuff like that. And then someone says, hey, why don't you read me Psalm 91? So I was like, oh, okay. I start reading it out loud to everybody. And then somebody's like, hey, read Psalm 34. And I start reading that one. Psalm 23. It was like our own little Bible study inside B City, which was just something so special and so precious.
Having church in B City, come on. So I would love for you, Cory, just to kind of take us into that moment of when you get down, when it's you in the top final game here. I want you to take us kind of into that moment. What happened, and what did it feel like when you realized you didn't win the $5 million?
Absolutely. So that's a great question. So getting all the way to that point, to the final challenge, it was truly God leading me the whole way. It was just something so special, so amazing. He brought me all the way to the final challenge. And then between me and Tyler, we really couldn't figure out which briefcase the check was in. It was one of those things where we just kept going back and forth to the point where I just said, you know what? I'm not going to give him any clues to myself. I'm not going to give him any hints. So I'm just going to start spinning it and see what happens. So it's basically, one of those things based on chance. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, he picked the suitcase with the right check in it. And obviously, that means he won the $5 million. I unfortunately lost. But I knew in that moment, even though how shocked I was, kind of, saddened, upset, stuff like that, I knew that I had to lose with grace. I had to show that, what, even though I didn't win, I got to be happy for him in this moment. This is his moment to really be happy, be excited, be happy for his family. And I even said it on the show myself, like if I couldn't win it, I'm so glad that it was Tyler because he's a family man. He's a
Yeah.
good person. He has a military background. So it's kind of one of those things where I was genuinely happy for him. So I gave him a hug. I said, "Hey, man, you deserve this. This is awesome. I'm so happy for you." So it's one of those things where whenever you do lose in life, because it's going to happen, you go through trials and tribulations. The important thing is always to lose with grace. Always be happy for the other person. Always know that God has bigger and better plans for you, and you're just going to move forward, and He's going to help you all the way.
Yeah, I love that. I mean, getting second place in that moment with the check, that is not an easy feeling. And, I'm willing to bet most listeners haven't competed on a show like Beast Games for $5 million. But I think for a lot of listeners, and even myself, like we have all had moments where something mattered to us and it just didn't go our way. Whether maybe that's sports or relationships or an opportunity or job, like that feeling is real. And Cory, you have been a great prime example of what it looks like to have something not go your way, but not respond with negativity or bitterness, right? You responded, you said, maybe you didn't realize in the moment how many eyes are on you or how many eyes are even on you now, but you are responding in a way that is counterculture and honors God. And so kind of just help us understand what made you respond differently than most? Like, where did that loss in your faith collide for you?
Absolutely. So, I think in everything. So yeah, just like you said, we go through our trials and tribulations, relationships, sports, anything that you lose and stuff like that. Yeah, sometimes you pray for something, it doesn't go the way that you want it to, but it goes the way that God wanted it. There, God
Yeah.
had it already planned to go that way, so to speak. That's a better way to put it.
Hmm.
So you just need to trust in God, trust in that process. Even though you don't win or something like that, just understand that God has something so much bigger and better planned for you. And the tests and trials that you go through in life, those are just tests. God's trying to see who you really are deep down inside your heart. So when you're exposed to those environments, those challenges, those tribulations, it really brings out who you are as a person. So when God sees that, He's going to reward that in the end. So that's why I always just keep my faith in God. I know everything that happens for the reason that it was supposed to happen, the reason that He wanted it to happen. And now, me personally, it's really given me this opportunity to help inspire other people, to help talk to people. So many people going through hardships and troubles and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's giving me this opportunity to inspire them and help them, especially when it comes to their faith and moving forward and moving past all these troubles that they're going through.
I love that, Cory. That's so awesome. And you've written a book about your experience on Beast Games, right? Tell me a little bit about this book. That you were pretty quick with it, so I love it. So tell us a little bit about it.
Absolutely. So that's the crazy thing. So Beast Games was filmed June July timeframe, 2025,
Oh,
and
wow.
then the first episode doesn't air until I think it was January 7th, if I'm not mistaken. So, a month after I got back from Beast Games, give or take, God put it in my spirit one morning when I was laying in bed. He just said, write a book. And at first I was kind of like, okay, write a book. I didn't really understand it at first. It's kind of how it always is. You get guidance and then God wants to see your faith. Are you going to actually take that step forward and listen to what He's saying? Listen to Him, be obedient. And so, of course, I'm going to be obedient. I just started writing, putting words on paper and stuff like that. And next thing you know, it really helped me through that entire process. It helped me reflect on all the emotions that I went through. It helped me build my faith even stronger. It helped me understand why all that stuff happened. And in the end, it was just like, by the time I got done, finished writing the book, What 5 Million Can't Buy, Faith, Integrity, and the True Definition of Winning, it was like, wow, I understand now that God brought me all the way to the end,
Yeah.
put me in that situation,
Mm.
had it go exactly how He planned it to go in order for me to go out and inspire other people.
Yeah, and that's exactly what you're doing. I mean, you are inspiring other people because I honestly think in our culture that we often see winning just one way, and that is first place, getting what you wanted, everything working out. But I love how your story challenges that. It challenges that even when things don't go our way, we can still come out on top, right? It doesn't mean that we can't win. And so kind of my last question before we get in some fun rapid fire questions, for someone listening right now, and they just feel like life isn't going how they plan. They're dealing with it's just not feeling like how it's supposed to be. What would you say to them about how they can still win even when things aren't going their way?
Absolutely. So in situations like that, I always tell people to pray, seek guidance from the Holy Spirit. He's always going to help you. He's always going to guide you through everything.
Yeah.
And read the Bible, honestly. If you want to get to know Jesus in a true relationship way, then read the Bible and understand like how God is, how the Bible is a perfect example of everything in life.
Yeah.
Every challenge or anything else like that, you could read the Bible, you could find the Bible, and actually it would speak directly to your problem and what you're going through. And then you'd be like, oh, okay, that makes sense. I understand. I got to keep my faith. So I always tell people, pray, read your Bible, have a relationship with Jesus, and just trust in him, trust in your faith in him, that everything is going to turn out exactly how it's supposed to. Always trust in his perfect timing. Always trust that God is working behind the scenes for your better good, no matter what.
I love that. You're exactly right. That's so encouraging. God is working behind the scenes. I love it. So Cory, before we end this episode, something we love to do with our guests is kind of have a little segment at the end called rapid fire questions. And so I have 8 questions for you, and you just have to answer them as quick as you can, or I guess really whatever comes on the top of your head. If you have a cool story with it, share the story or whatever, but I'm going to ask these as quick as I can and kind of see your thoughts here. These are a little fun. I'm really excited to hear your thoughts here. So first one, here we go. Is Bible character you'd want on your team in Beast Games?
Jesus.
Come on. One besides Jesus.
One besides Jesus? Man, there's so many of them.
I know.
Moses, Gideon, even Peter.
Yeah.
Paul. I would say Paul.
Paul, I love it.
There we go.
I love it. So what was the toughest, or who was the toughest competitor you went up against?
Tyler, definitely.
Tyler. Which player did you trust the most?
Ooh.
You're like, none of them now. I'm just kidding.
Exactly.
Day one, maybe.
Even though Brett did me wrong, I would still say Brett because honestly, from day one, he was my number one. So I would say Brett.
I love it. What's something viewers didn't see that would surprise people?
Ooh, there's quite a few things that they didn't see actually. I would say the coin, the coin that Monica sold for $500,000.
Yep.
Unfortunately, we all found out before.
Oh no.
We got to Riyadh. I don't want to go into the details or anything like that because there's spoilers in there and might get people in trouble. So I'll just leave it at that. But yes, we did find out about the coin being sold before we got to Riyadh.
And you could kind of feel it because like when you guys found out, like no one's reaction was like, "Oh my gosh," it was like they kind of knew. But
exactly.
What's one moment from the show that you wish you could pause and do again?
Ooh. I'd probably say the obstacle course, just because of the fact that was just one of those moments where truly God was with me the whole way. And I was so grateful that he pushed me all the way to the end just to feel that excitement and that feeling of winning was just amazing.
Yeah. What's one rule you'd change about Beast Games?
That the second place winner would get at least something.
Yeah, that's a good rule change. What's your best memory from the show?
I would say just being in the city, like talking with everyone, just being friendship with everyone there. It was just amazing.
Okay. And then the last one, if you got asked to come back for season 3, would you do it?
Yes.
Of course, you got to do it. Are you kidding? I hope they do. Obviously, this was just the second season. They brought a lot back from season 1. We'll see if they keep that trend. But if they do, no, we are rooting for you all the way. We believe in it.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yes. So, Cory, we just want to say, hey, thank you for opening up on how to win when things don't go your way. That is such an invaluable lesson for young people and even adults to learn early on is that, man, like life isn't always going to go how we plan, but we have to stay rooted and trust in God. So we had a great time hearing you share and getting to know you a little more. And so we just want to say thank you, Cory, for hopping on this episode with us.
Oh, thank you so much, Connor. This truly was an honor and a blessing to be on your podcast. I am so grateful. Thank you.
Thank you. And for those listeners, thank you for tuning in to the Youth Will Always Win. Remember, we're the podcast that helps you win in the areas that matter the most. Just had Cory Sims from Beast Game Season 2 runner-up. What a great episode, and we will catch you next time.